Oh, no. I think we are live.
Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday. It's after midnight. It's officially Tuesday. Before we get started, I just want to give a special shout out to the officials in the Chargers-Ravens game. I mean, you can't teach gamesmanship like that. Clearly, we're seeing the game properly, making the correct calls, got the job done. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No, we're in feast week right now. We're not watching the NFL crap.
Oh, yeah, it's only Monday Night Football. Who's interested in that?
Nobody.
We could check the viewership, the TV ratings. I'm sure you'll be a little bit mistaken. No one gives a shit.
Well, one's on ESPN and one's on ESPN News. I can't compete with that.
Exactly.
Sorry.
There's a reason for that. So
Probably.
The reason I'm thanking the officials is I had the over. And in order to cash said over, I needed the Chargers to drive down the field and score get a backdoor cover. They were down 14. I needed them to score once. That drive was extended by 2 pass interference calls, one in the end zone that gave it to me. So a special shout out to the refs. Couldn't be prouder.
Shout out to Dicker the kicker for coming through for everybody. I know a lot of people were on that kicking points. That was absolutely.
You love to see it.
He looked great. Looked great tonight.
Looked phenomenal play from Dicker.
Right.
All right. Should we talk some feast week?
I'd love to.
Yeah, make sure you guys send some support to Prop Beaver. He had a rough night. He's sad about it.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club, bud. I mean, this is that's part of the business that we're in. You got to get through it. Do you think I like coming up in here every single night, just getting absolutely destroyed? No, but I do it because that's what we're in this for. This is how.
Yeah. So, all right.
You know how hard it is to give people my opinions, knowing that every time I get CLV on every single play and every single play loses. You know how hard that is. It's not easy, guys.
It takes a certain type of fortitude to do stuff like that.
Dead serious. My wife asked me if we needed to have a conversation. I'm dead serious, and I didn't know what to say to that. So,
college basketball feast week. So, let's start with Oregon on the road. Oh no, is this a true road game?
No, neutral site.
On a neutral site.
All the games that we were doing today are neutral site.
Okay, so they're all neutral site. Ducks, Aggies. Aggies short favorites here. Can Oregon still shoot the 3 ball like they could last year?
absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Terrible.
So
one of the worst in the country.
Andrew. People are calling you Andrew in the comments now. Andrew, what do you think?
Now they know my real name. Because we hit it for so long by calling me, I don't even know. No, Oregon only really wants to shoot 2-pointers. I like Oregon in this spot, honestly, in this situation. A&M, they've had a much tougher schedule. Don't get me wrong. Oregon, I think people are still a little bit hung up on the fact that Portland nearly got them. In Oregon, they nearly got them. Well, I guess they're both in Oregon. Yeah, I like the pace advantage. I believe there's no size advantage there. They're really the same height. I just like the fact that Oregon doesn't even really try to shoot threes. They know what they want to do. They want to get inside. A&M's done a good job inside, but again, none of the teams that they're facing are really non-3-point shooting teams, right? UCF and Ohio State, those teams want to really shoot the three. They like that. They have guards. They want to get outside, use their 3-point shooting. That's just not Oregon's game. Their inside game's good. Their big men, I want to say, I don't remember what game it was that I had them. I think it was Montana. Their big man was just eating in the paint. And I know it was against Montana, but he showed that he clearly has flashes of being dominant at times. Not saying he's going to be in this game, but they do have a stable of big guys that can make a difference inside, and that's where I think they're going to get them here. So neutral site, you don't have to worry about any of that the other stuff. So yeah, I like Oregon here.
You're talking, the forward that you're talking about is Nate. I'm Biddle, as we like to call him. Can't stay healthy to save his life. Good for him. But yes, he did absolutely play fantastic in that Montana game.
So the poll was 44%. 40. Shout out to your hockey expert. Who's he talking about? System plays?
Maybe the guy that does the picks on our website.
Oh, is he still posting? Oh man,
Yeah.
All right. Didn't even know he was still posting. All right.
Not only does he post, he has like graphics and stuff. It looks fantastic. I'm being dead
right.
serious.
I saw his post at the beginning of the season. I probably have a text from him I got to answer. All right. Yeah, I'm not a hockey guy, guys. So all right. Oregon, Texas A&M is 44% split across the board here.
Yeah, I I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want to lay points against this Oregon team because I do think they have a coaching advantage with Altman over Buzz. But Oregon does struggle, and I will say that when they struggled against the Beavers, I don't really know how much stock to put into that, but I will say that the Beavers slowed the game down and make it ugly. And it's not like Texas A&M runs a super fast pace. They're not nearly as slow as Oregon State, but I also think that Oregon played a team that's very similar to Texas A&M in Troy, and they won that game very easily. So it's just really hard for me to get to a side here. I would say under or pass. I think that the UCF is also very similar to Oregon as far as talking on the Texas A&M side. I don't really know. It's for me, like I said, it would be a take the points or pass, but I mean, or that or the under, but it's really hard to lay points with this Texas A&M team. Like, this is going to be the best offense that Oregon has seen by far. I mean, like I said, they struggled with Oregon State. Oregon State's number 125 in adjusted offensive efficiency as far as Ken Palm is concerned. Texas A&M's 29, but a lot of it comes from essentially two or three guys, Phelps, and then Wade Taylor and Coleman. I mean, and then as everybody else gets involved, maybe so lucky, but yeah, it would be the Ducks or pass for me.
Oregon or pass. I do have something in from.
And another huge thing as far as this game goes, especially with the college kids, free throw advantage. Oregon, one of the best teams in the country shooting free throws. They shoot it over 75%. They're top 50 in the country. Texas A&M, let me find it, 65%, number 301 in the country. So if this game is close late, Oregon holds a huge advantage at the free throw line.
We have something in from the Rodfather. He says, bet against Texas A&M in away or neutral games on the money line versus good rebounding teams. Out rebounding opponents by 4+ per game. Texas A&M record since 1-11 since last year against teams that out rebound their opponents by 4+ a game. I like that one, Ron. Some of his are crazy, but I like that.
Fly together, boys. Let's all bet the Ducks.
Ducks up. Let me put Ducks up for me too.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I'm not betting it. I'm not betting
Andy, I don't even, I said Ducks fly together. Andy's probably never even seen the Mighty Ducks.
Nope.
You've never seen the Mighty Ducks?
Oh my God.
I don't
feel old very often. I feel so old right now.
That's not an old thing. It's not a thing about. It's not about him being young. He's just a freak.
Okay. Well, I don't watch a lot of movies either, so I can be so.
Yeah, but Mighty Ducks. Who the hell hasn't seen that?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's about a hockey team, Andrew.
I'm aware because the Anaheim.
So you do know the Mighty Ducks.
Well, the team spawned from it, so yeah.
This is true.
Houston, Alabama, neutral site. Is Houston in the Big 12? Yeah, for basketball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Alabama was favored against. Wasn't Alabama laying points against someone good recently? Houston So Houston's that shit. Then Houston must be nice.
Yeah, I know Toes. I know how Toes feels about this. I think Alabama is going to win the game outright. I think Alabama, the size advantage is there now. Alabama is one of those weird teams where they have the size advantage, but in a few of their games, the rebounding hasn't necessarily been there. There's another team we're going to talk about that's also had that issue. They're not using their size as well as they should, but I do think in this matchup it'll be good for them. They're really good inside, right? They're fifth in 2-point percentage this year. That's usually not what a Nate Oates team wants to do, but that's what they've kind of had to. That's what they had to do against Illinois. The 3-point shooting wasn't necessarily there, and even against McNeese it kind of went away too. They didn't have the 3-point shooting in that game either, but they've been able to get enough done inside that they're winning games now. Mark Sears just showed us what his worst fastball was. I think we're going to get Mark Sears' best game. We're going to have Cliff's best game. I think we're going to get all of Alabama's best game. Even after whipping Illinois, they still had like a negative connotation about them after that game. I don't think they will after this one. I think they're going to win this tournament. The NIL money, I think that's going to go to them. I think that they're going to clear through this after they beat Houston. I don't know who they'd face. I think they face Rutgers tomorrow or Wednesday. So they're going to have a pretty easy run through it. So, yeah, I like Alabama in this.
Someone says, I'm gone. Once you say Alabama will win this game, nothing said after has value.
I guess I would love to know what that person thinks about Houston right now. I mean, I just feel like I made this number Alabama -1.5. Like I took 4 with Alabama when it opened. This number is absolutely no sense to me. Like, and I don't say that on a lot of numbers because I've been getting killed a lot, but the ones that I have, I've been pretty spot on with. And I mean, Andy said it best. He texted me and I asked him, "Do you like Bama too?" And he said, Houston having to rely on a 3-ball on neutral court. I mean, and that's just poetically said. Not to mention, he also mentioned Mark Sears after the disaster that he has been over the last couple of weeks, or week or so. I understand that the Illinois game was better, but the Purdue thing was an absolute disgusting display from him. I don't think that we see him play bad like that at all. Also, the fact that Houston, the number 1 3-point shooting team in the country right now, like, are you kidding me? Absolutely not. I mean, none of these. Again, have they shot well so far? Yes, but now you're going to be facing an Alabama team that's one of the biggest teams in the country, that is bigger than you at every single position on the floor. They're just as deep as you. They're more experienced than you, and they can play inside out. Alabama can play inside out. Alabama is another team that we know what they like. They like layups and they like 3-balls. They haven't shot the 3-ball well, but I tend to believe that number is going to continue to get better. They've only shot the 3-ball at 30% this year. But this team is much, much better than that. I also say that they might still shoot around 60% from the 2-point range. That's good for 50th or 5th in the country right now. I just don't understand this number. I think that Houston is getting a lot of respect for what they have been in the past, and I think this is a completely different team. I understand, like, we saw them against Auburn kind of be outclassed at home, or at a semi-home game. And then they had a couple more cupcakes, but this isn't a completely different story. I think that I don't think that Alabama is as good as Auburn, but I think they're pretty damn close. And so, again, to get them at +3.5 or +4, whatever you get it at, I think it's an absolute steal.
But didn't you say Hofstra was good?
Not compared to Alabama. Yes, Hofstra is a decent team, but compared to Alabama, it's a night and day difference.
Was Alabama competitive in that Purdue game?
For a while, it got
not really.
Purdue shot 56% from 3 in that game, but that was at home, right?
Say, there was. I don't think if you had a Purdue ticket, I don't think you were ever worried about it. Yeah, but again, that was in Mackey. I mean, this is on a neutral. I mean,
does Alabama run a fast pace?
Not this year. I'm sorry. Yes, very fast pace. Sorry, my.
So
Houston,
give me over, right?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
You said Houston shooting a lot of threes. Over, right?
Very reliant on the 3. The problem is,
go ahead, Andy.
neutral site unders are the free.
How about this, Andy?
Don't say that, Andy, because I lost my first half under, and I've been hitting that bet for 15 years.
I got one. So Bama team total over. It's going to be 75. They're +3.5, so it'll be what's 73.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, because based on what you're saying, Houston's relying on the 3-point shot. So, if Alabama's losing this game, it's because Houston's splashing from threes and they outscore them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
absolutely. They're not going to be. There's no way in hell that Houston's going to beat them inside with Roberts and Tugler. Like,
I'm writing that down.
They're absolutely no match for Cliff and Nelson and even Right Shell, who's only 6'3", but he's been pretty damn good for them. I just think that Houston's getting a lot of respect for what they've done in the past. I mean, this isn't the same team that we've seen over the last couple of years. So you're asking a lot of guys like that Uzan kid, who is a junior, but's coming over from Oklahoma. I mean, and him and Cryer, I mean, obviously we know Cryer came over from Baylor 2 years ago, but it's still, you're asking a lot out of these guys. It's just, for me, I think that Houston's getting a little bit too much respect when they haven't played really anybody this year besides Auburn, and they looked really bad in that Auburn game. I mean, Houston right now, strength of schedule-wise, 246. Alabama, number 36. So Alabama has been testing themselves essentially all year. Every one of Alabama's game except for one's against a team in the top 100. Maybe Arkansas State's like a little bit off, but sorry, regardless.
Who's Nate Oates?
Alabama coach.
He's saying bet over the total in Nate Oates games versus good shooting teams that make 45% or more of their shots. The over's record during his tenure as coach of Alabama, 55-25 to the over. So that supports my team total over. I might bet that for real.
Sting hot from 3.
I haven't really been partaking in this feast week, but I might get in. Oh shit, we got Duke, Kansas?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, this is feast week.
What?
Tomorrow there's a bunch of the Maui games are going to be.
The last one we just did, and these are some good games. I might have to dip my toes into the waters of feast week. Might have to partake. I like that Alabama team total over. I'm very interested to hear. I liked your guys' Arizona pick in the last Duke game. Obviously, that they got smacked around, but I liked the pick. I liked your guys' reasoning for it. I thought Kansas, Andy, was Kansas not the number 1 team in the nation? Are they?
Yeah.
So now, in what we've seen so far this season, they're catching points. Is Duke look that good, or Kansas looks disappointing?
Beats the hell out of me, dude. I don't know why this line's like this. I think Kansas is going to win the game.
Whoa, hold on. Did Kansas take a bad loss?
No, dude.
No, dude.
No, man. They're fine. They've been great. I mean, the one thing that maybe you can look at, the neutral site game they played, they didn't shoot well. They didn't shoot well at all. Still won the game. What am
I missing then?
Won the game by 8. By the way.
Hold on. Maybe I think people just might be obsessed with this Duke team.
It's the size advantage is there. Duke's going to have the size advantage against anybody they play this year, right? They have Flag, they have Knipple. They're going to have the size advantage against anybody. But if there's anybody that they're going up against, that's not going to matter. It's Hunter Dickinson. You might not like him. He might be a person that everybody hates. The dude can eat inside, and these Duke guys have not faced a guy like him. Plain and simple. I mean, there aren't many like him in college basketball, but they haven't faced anybody like this. So for the young freshman on that team to be going to facing Hunter Dickinson, I know it's a neutral site, so it's not like not like they're going to Allen Fieldhouse, but it's not going to be easy for him. So and also Duke, another team relying on the 3-pointer, and you're going into a neutral site environment. I don't like that for teams in a lot of situations. I mean, look at St. John's this weekend. St. John's had 3 games. They rely on the 3-pointer. It didn't show up for one of their games. They wound up 1-2 this weekend. You can't rely on the 3-pointer in neutral site games. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm putting Kansas. I'll bet this one with you guys. I'm assuming Toast. It sounds like you're in Kansas too.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head with Hunter Dickinson. Not to mention the fact that his running mate, KJ Adams, is a 6'7" senior that knows his way around the paint very well. Rylan Griffin is 6'6", Zeke Mayo 6'4". The only guy that's small is DeJuan Harris, and I trust him. I mean, I really think when you have Harris, KJ Adams, and Hunter Dickinson, that's just as good as a 1-2-3 as far as guard and forwards that you can possibly get in college basketball. I hate Hunter Dickinson, but like Andy's right, he definitely is going to be able to eat inside. And like he said, Duke hasn't seen anybody like this. I also don't really, I was on Arizona, but I also don't know if Duke is really that good, or if Cooper Flagg had a really good game. And maybe he has another good game against Kansas. I don't really know. Kansas is like the most experienced team in the country compared to Arizona. I mean, the guard play from Kansas and the guard play from Arizona is going to be exponentially different. Kansas is going to have the advantage by miles. It's not even going to be funny. So I just think that this is a really big ask for a Duke team that really hasn't been in this position before. I don't think we learned more about Arizona than we did about Duke. So I think that you take the points. I also think that there's a huge coaching advantage with Bill Self over John Shire. So getting the points in a neutral site game for me was just kind of a no-brainer.
Someone goes, wait, Andy and Prop Beaver are 2 different people? That's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, I got something from the Rodfather, and it's not on our side here. Rodfather says, you got cut off the screen here. Bet against Kansas versus up-tempo teams. Teams that average 62 or more shots per game. Kansas record since 2024, 1-8 against the spread.
Not bad.
So, Rod, does that mean you're on Duke? Or are you just throwing that out there as something to keep it? I don't know if that necessarily means he's taking Duke, or if he's just adding.
Yeah. I'd like to know if Rod wants to put the belt up.
Yeah, put the belt up, Rob. You on Duke, Rodfather?
Well, you want to put that logo on your face? We can do that too. We have those capabilities on this show.
Duke is an up-tempo team, but Kansas runs a faster pace. So, I don't.
So was Michigan State.
You have a difference, yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
It went up too. Duke was 2.5 when I looked. Now it's over.
Oh, I know. That's why I
put Kansas. I put let me put Duke up for Rob. There you go.
And keep in mind, Kansas did lose to the Avengers, but again, that's a completely different story. But the Avengers run really fast pace too, and obviously they looked decent against Arizona.
Yes, Rod confirmed in the comments he will take Duke.
Or Duke
in
looked
this
decent
one.
against Arizona.
Wow, Rod.
Interesting.
I'm sorry to hear you have to take a loss tomorrow, Rod. All right, let's move on to the next one.
What a heater. This game starts at what 12:30 a.m.
Wait, because so
tomorrow?
Rutgers takes one bad loss and all of a sudden it's close to a pick against Notre Dame. Don't you think that's an overreaction?
I want to hear Andy's take on this game because this line is I don't know.
It should be like 5.5, right?
This is the first time that I am mad I can't bet a game because I think Rutgers is gonna whip them up. I think
Right?
Rutgers.
You're on Notre Dame?
No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No. So Rutgers is the team I was hinting at before. Like Alabama, they don't use their size. Rutgers is a very, very tall team. They've got height. The problem is none of them are their important players, and they can't rebound. They just went to Kennesaw State and got out-rebounded pretty embarrassingly. They were down big that whole game. Look, that was a weird environment. They probably never should have played that game. That was a stupid game to play. Whatever, credit to them for doing it. They've had a lot of weird travel. They went from Georgia. Now they got to go out to Vegas. I don't know. It's a weird situation there. But in terms of actual basketball perspective, Notre Dame has played one team that is tall. Elon, they're the number 3 team in the country in terms of height. Elon beat them. They can't deal with height. So if Rutgers can just use the height that they have and use the size advantage, they should be crushing Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I know they were a cash cow early on for Utos. I don't think that they're that good of a team. I think they're fine. They showed up early in a couple of their games, but against weaker competition. Now, I mean, Elon's not a bad team under any circumstances. They're a decent team always in that conference, but I mean, they got rebounded them. They used their size against them. Rutgers is just as tall, so I think Rutgers should crush them. I think people are overreacting to the loss. It was a bad loss. They shouldn't have taken it, but I'm not going to overreact to that at all.
Yeah, I was betting Notre Dame and a team that has played together a lot. They're top 5 in minutes, continuity together. A team that can hit their free throws. A team that can shoot well inside against teams like 335 Stonehill, Buffalo. I mean, on the road in Georgetown, where Georgetown has absolutely no home court advantage. I mean, that was just easy money. I mean, but again, I was on Elon. I took the points with Elon. I wasn't on the money line or anything like that, but I was definitely on Elon in the points, and I just feel the same way. Rutgers is not only bigger than them, but I think they're really better than them in every facet of this game. I think they're the better shooting team. I think they're better defensively at times. I understand that Notre Dame again has looked good against really bad competition, but giving up 84 to Elon is very concerning. I mean, this Rutgers offense isn't ranked that much higher than Elon's. They're only about 20 spots higher, but guys like Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper are going to only continue to get better the more that they play with each other. That PJ Hayes kid is a senior. He's pretty damn good as well. So that's why I was really curious to hear Andy's thoughts. This is one game that we hadn't talked about before the show. I made Rutgers -5. That's how big of a
saying. Rutgers is
that's
a top
how
20
big of a
team.
favorite that I thought it would be. This line makes absolutely no sense. Maybe it gets steamed up. I don't know, but I just don't understand if Notre Dame's getting respect because they've been so well, they've played so well, and then they had a stinker, and both teams are off a stinker. I truly don't get it.
What do you think this line was before the season started? 7 or 8, right?
I would say probably 5.5, 6.
Because based on
the Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, Dylan Harper.
Well, if in that case, it might not be that weird if you think it's 5.5, 6, because obviously Notre Dame's played well. They should be upgraded a little bit. Rutgers maybe downgraded a little bit. They have a bad loss.
But so does Notre Dame. I mean, people
who
are
do they lose
they
to?
both have bad losses. Oh, sorry, Andy.
That's something that I noticed. Rutgers was taking a lot of heat, and I think it's because they have all the hype because they got the two of the 3 best recruits in the country. Losing to Elon is worse than losing at Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State's undefeated right now. At least against the spread, they're undefeated. Under that, they've played well. They've made tournaments recently. That was a road game as well. It's a weird road environment. They lost at home to Elon. That's worse. So it's not necessarily what they're coming off of.
And both teams have played crap schedules. I mean, Rutgers played absolutely nobody, but I agree with Andy. Kennesaw State is much better than, well, not much better, but is a significantly better team than Elon. Maybe Elon starts to play. Anyway, right now they're better. But Notre Dame's played the 313th hardest schedule. Rutgers in the 340. So it's not like there's this huge difference. It's kind of mirror images of each other.
I got something from the Rod Father. Rod says, bet against Notre Dame on the money line after 2 straight games with 9 or less offensive rebounds. This is a deep cut from Rod. So bet against Notre Dame on the money line after 2 straight games with 9 or less offensive rebounds. Notre Dame's record since last year in such instances, 8-23. That's a deep cut right there. I don't like the less than 9 rebounds. Who gives a shit? I like the ones where he's like,
I'm curious what the bracket is for this. Who does the winner of this game get? Because they're the
It says that Notre Dame plays Houston tomorrow.
that under. Someone said that under was horrible, Sauce. I had the over and it hit, dog.
What the hell?
It cast. All right, I'm gonna put. Someone goes, "Who is that guy? Toast Uncle?" No, it's Rod from Pick Dogs. Rod Sawacki. I'll put Rutgers up, but I can't bet this one.
It's just crazy too. Like really quickly on like guards are really big in college basketball. Like Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, and I know that he kind of plays. Bailey's kind of been playing the forward, but they're 6'6" and 6'10". Shrewsbury's kid, who I think his name's Braden or whatever, he's 6'3". He's a starter, and then Marcus Burton's only 5'11". I mean, these Rutgers is going to absolutely tower over these guys.
So why is this line? I don't understand the line then.
I don't either.
What has been the case with this? Like, quote, how's the vibe been in college basketball so far this year in terms of sketchy lines? Have sketchy lines been cashing? How about this? Let me rephrase the question. Has the market been right? Because right now the market would be telling us that Notre Dame's live. This is so like.
Ken Palm has Notre Dame winning by 1.
Yeah. I think that's a huge. I think that's a huge
Rutgers
factor.
just ass? What? I don't understand. I thought they were like a top 25 team.
No, they didn't. They didn't play. They didn't have Ace Bailey to start. I mean, it's a work in progress. I mean, like Andy said, Kennesaw State isn't a bad basketball team,
and it was a road game too.
It was a road game, and Kennesaw State's played a decent schedule. I mean, they're playing.
Both of these teams have much better teams up tomorrow as well. One plays Houston, Notre Dame plays Houston, Alabama, Rutgers plays Alabama. Maybe those are much bigger opportunities for these two teams, so maybe one of them gets caught looking ahead, but I don't think they'll do that in an MTE. So,
all right, let's go. I'm echoing a little bit on your mic, Andy. I don't know why. Maybe it's something. I don't know. That's weird. But anyway, let's just do the community top bet and get out of here. So we got more games lined up for the live show tomorrow, right?
Yeah, when I come in tomorrow, I got I think 3 more I'm putting in, and we're gonna do Duke and Kansas again.
Good shit. Yeah, you got to do that one again.
I think Alabama, Houston again too.
So also, I just want to say really quickly, Sauce. I just want to add in that Kentucky and the Avengers play tomorrow, guys. Minus 21.5. It's the one thing that I can't get wrong in college basketball is Mark Pope and the Avengers are here to stay.
So Duke won the Duke won the poll, by the way. So like I think the Duke is laying points because
it's gonna be public. I think in every game they play.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
I think that's part of it. Yes.
Is he really that hyped?
Yes, and I don't even know. This is gonna sound so haterish, and it's really not. But like, he looked really good in Arizona, but he also was the product of like it seemed like every loose ball there was possibly found him, and he had an open shot. I mean, it's just. I don't know if that's real. Again, he's very, very good. It's just I think there's going to be ups and downs. That's all.
Rudy says, Andy, your North Carolina pick is not looking too hot. Dude, you just said my under was horrible and I bet the over. So I say your credibility is in the toilet at the moment.
I said North Carolina, but I didn't bet it. I mean, I can't believe Dayton's doing that too. I got a lot of them right today. I just want to mention before we leave, because this game starts at, I want to say 11:30 in the morning tomorrow. Detroit Mercy, Tulsa. I have Detroit Mercy. Toast and I were talking about this before we started. I don't understand why Tulsa is 8.5 point favorites now. It opened at 7.5. Our thought process is just because people like to bet against Detroit Mercy. I have him. Ken Palm has it as a 4-point game. He has it as 4.5 as his line. I think Detroit Mercy can win the game. It went up from 7.5 to 8.5. So I bet Detroit Mercy 7.5. I don't know what's going on with that game, but I have Detroit Mercy. Just letting everybody
It's 9.5 on FanDuel right now. 9.5.
By the way, the community top bet is Rutgers minus 1.5.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
The community likes the Scarlet Knights.
The one I can't.
You guys can't bet them even when they're out of the state?
Nope.
Dude, it's the dumbest thing. We can't bet them Any college team in New Jersey.
Right.
or
I thought
any
it was.
college
I just
team.
misunderstood it. I thought you just couldn't bet their home games. I thought if they played away, you could bet them. That is.
Yesterday, I wanted to bet Maryland, and I couldn't because it took place in New Jersey. You know how dumb that is?
All
That's
right.
stupid.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Uh,
All right. So, community top bets, Rutgers -1.5. So this week, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be live in the morning. Because obviously there's football on all day. So we're doing the Thanksgiving show at 11 a.m. Friday. I think that Friday we'll probably just do 11 a.m. There's a lot of football games on Friday, but it's just me and Andy. So we'll be able to get through them quicker with just two of us. So I think we'll do 11 a.m. Saturday normal time. I got Kyle Hunter coming on to do Kyle's football picks with us Saturday. I'm pumped about that. I like that guy a lot.
Nice.
He's good. He does a good job.
He's very good.
Yeah. So yeah, pumped that'll be this Saturday, and then Sunday. I gotta ask Steve Jabo if he's able to come on again Sunday because it's Thanksgiving. He's got kids, so Thanksgiving week. But we'll be doing the NFL show on Sunday as well. So thanks everyone for watching. As for tomorrow, I'm thinking about betting. Did you look at the Toledo game? Any action, Andy? Are you in feast week? I like Toledo too. I think if it's under 10, you got to play Toledo, right?
100%.
Wait, North Carolina's down 12. Are you fucking?
My thoughts.
North Carolina's getting crushed right now.
The only thing that could keep Toledo from winning that game by double digits, in my opinion, is shitty weather. And I looked, and the weather is supposed to be fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. But again, last week we thought the weather was going to be nasty, and it was like fine.
Yeah,
in
I know.
Of the game.
Yeah, who knows? All right. Everyone, have a great night. Remember to bet responsibly. See you all. Oh, if you want to go, I put up a video going through the two MAC games if you want to check it out. Tomorrow night's MAC games. See you guys tomorrow.
This world makes no sense, Andy.
Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Good night, guys.